Hi there, singing friends. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction request from Joshua Carlos, who asked me to look at another Marc Martel cover. This time it's Along December by the Counting Crows, and I'm definitely a fan of the Counting Crows, grew up listening to them, saw them play live when they visited Yale, which is where I went to undergrad. I think they are a great band, and Adam Duritz is a great songwriter. So I'm curious to see how Marc adjusts his singing apparatus when he's approaching singing a Counting Crows cover as opposed to a Queen cover. I had a lot of people commenting on my videos where I did reactions to Marc doing Queen covers, and I had said that he was imitating some of the positionings of his singing apparatus to sound more like Freddie Mercury, and a lot of people corrected me and said, well, actually, no, he first sounded like Freddie Mercury, and that was just naturally how his voice sounded. And then he came around to, a lot of people said, oh, you sound exactly like Freddie Mercury. And so then he started covering Queen songs. So I didn't know that. I thought it was more that he studied Freddie and then picked up a lot of those positionings and sounds, but apparently was the other way around, which is even cooler, I think, in a way. Maybe he's like reincarnated or something, But, obviously he writes his own music and he's his own artist too. So in no means do I mean to conflate him with just somebody that does impressions or something like that. He's a very talented artist in his own right, and I'm sure has a lot of range. So this will be an opportunity for me to see him singing a song by another artist and to see how that changes his singing positioning, if at all. Before I jump in, I'll just say that I'll be pausing this at least once so that I don't get flagged or blocked, hopefully, but I'll put the link to the Uninterrupted video down below in case you want to watch that first. And that's where you'll find all of my relevant links as well. I have two ways that you can reach out to me to do a reaction to a song or band of your choosing. And I also have two online self-paced courses, one in singing and one in piano on Udemy. So those links are down below. And you can always get in touch with me about doing a one-on-one lesson in singing or piano. And I also teach a lot of other things too, like songwriting and guitar and ukulele. So if any of that stuff interests you, definitely hit me up. All right. So now without further ado, let's check out Marc Martel singing Along December by the Counting Crows.
The beautiful thing about great art is its ability to take on new meaning as life happens, situations change for better or for worse. I've been thinking a lot about this one lately. Along December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. I can't remember the last thing that you said as you were leaving. All the days go by so fast, and it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Hollywood. If you think that I could be forgiven, I wish you would. Na 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 na, yeah.
Very nice so far. So I really like his little intro. I love when musicians kind of give a little bit of insight into what really made them connect with a song, or what their, their personal inspiration was in either writing or covering a song. And so I like that he gave a little bit of that, but it was also a little bit ambiguous. He basically said a song, even though the lyrics to a song don't change, your interpretation of their meaning might change as your life goes on and you have more experiences or different experiences. And so you experience those lyrics differently. I think that's a really interesting insight. I would love to know more about how his interpretation of the song changed and what circumstances in his life brought that about. But obviously, you know, he's not obligated to share any personal details about his life. But I just thought that was a good, pithy intro to the song. And then I love his piano playing, and he definitely still sounds a little bit like Freddie Mercury on this. He definitely doesn't sound like Adam Duritz, which I think is great. You know, I don't think that you should have to sound like an artist when you're covering their song. And in fact, it's better to give it your own personal spin. One thing that I notice about his voice is he has a very, very present, round, resonant voice, meaning that like if you were to like look at this waveform of him singing, you wouldn't really be missing that many frequencies, you know, like he really has a nice round voice, and he has a lot of power, you know, especially when he's saying that na 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 na. You really hear how rich and resonant that tone is. So far, I'm really liking it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. He's got a really, really balanced, strong voice.
The smell of hospitals in winter, and the feeling that it's all a lot of oysters but no pearl. And all at once you look across a crowded room to see the way that light attaches to a girl. And it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Hollywood. If you think you might come to California, I think you should. Na 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 na, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very pretty. I especially liked his high notes where he got some grit, you know, where he was like, yeah! And you heard a little bit of grit on that. And then right here where he did the climb and he went from chest voice to a more breathy kind of head voice intonation. Another thing that I notice about his singing is on certain vowels, he'll bring his lower lip in, you know, if you watch him say no or so or California, he kind of brings his lower lip in a little bit. Just an interesting way of the way that he shapes his vowels. I always look at things like that. His high notes sound a lot more like Freddie. I love some of the riffs that he's doing, those climbing kind of step-like riffs and descending riffs, and his piano playing obviously is gorgeous. So yeah, really, really nice. And it's funny, you know, when the way that he sings it, when he's singing it alone without a band, and because he's singing it with such power and resonance, it does make me hear the lyrics more clearly and in a different way than I would have experienced them with Adam Duritz singing it, I think. You know, I'm really paying attention to the lyrics more.
Drove up to Hillside Manor sometime after 2 a.m. and talked a little while about the year. I guess the winter makes you laugh a little slower, makes you talk a little lower about the things you could not show her. And it's been a long December, and there's reason to will be better than the last. I can't remember all the times I tried to tell myself to hold on to these moments as they pass. And it's one more day up in the canyon, and it's one more night in Hollywood. It's been so long since I've seen the ocean, I guess I should. Na 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 na, yeah. Yeah.
Very, very nice. I love the smokiness that he gets on his high notes, you know, when he's going up. It's a little bit gritty, but it's also like there's a certain smokiness and breathiness to it that's really, really nice. I love how he really took his time after that line. It's been so long since I've seen the ocean. I guess I should, you know, and then he launched into the nanas. I really liked how he sang a lot of different notes in the chords as he was doing the nanas. It was almost like he was harmonizing with himself, you know, and he was doing all the different variations, all the different voicings. And yeah, I think he's great. I really like his piano playing. He's obviously a really, really good piano player and playing some complicated rhythms against his voicings and had no problem playing them. I think he's got a beautiful voice. Definitely, definitely still channeling a little bit of Freddie in this song. And so I think that really lends credence to the comments that I got saying that he sounded like Freddie first, you know? And it wasn't like a conscious thing, it was just something naturally that he did. Especially when he kind of does the upper lip sneer a little bit on some of his extended vowels, you know, and that kind of morphs the sound of his vowels a little bit like Freddie used to do. So yeah, I thought it was great. Really, really nice cover of a great song. So I enjoyed it very much. Thank you, Joshua, for the recommendation. I hope that you enjoyed my reaction. And I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing. Bye.